Every badge has a story. Every call could be life or death. This is the world behind the thin blue line. I've faced armed suspects in pitch-black alleys, negotiated with hostages on the edge, and stared down the barrel of a gun more times than I can count. But it's not just the danger that changes you. It's the moments you can't forget, the lives you save, the ones you can't, and the weight of the badge long after you take it off. This is True Blue. Life as a policewoman. These are the stories they don't tell you in the academy. The raw, unfiltered truth of what it means to serve, protect, and survive. My name is Officer Sinclair. In 1982, I decided to join the police academy. After graduating from the police academy, I was assigned to a district in the summer of 1982, a district they called the Wild Wild West. Had no idea why they called it, but I soon found out. It was a hot, steamy summer night. I was working a last-out tour, 11 p.m. to 7 in the morning. Fresh out of the police academy, I had a sergeant named Hutch. The one thing about Hutch, what I later learned when Hutch came into the district singing Marvin Gaye, we knew that something was going to go down. On my very first night in, Sergeant Hutch came to me after roll call. He said with a stern voice, "Sinclair, if you can survive a summer out here, in the Wild Wild West, you will no longer be called a rookie." I'm like, "Okay, Sarge, no problem." I looked at him thinking, what the hell did I just get myself into? And you won't believe this. Just as I was being introduced to my partner, the night really turned into something that I really was not expecting. As we finished roll call, I quickly found the hell out from the operations room. Back then, there were no handsets. You did everything from police radio monitored in your car. What I quickly found out, suddenly, the operations room door flew open. Police Officer Jones yelled out, "Assist officer, 55th and Market. Man with a gun, there's a fight on the highway. Possibly somebody shot. There's shots being fired." Keeping in mind this is my first day on the job, fresh out of the academy. Well, my partner and I ran to the police car, who I still could not remember his name. I'm thinking to myself, oh crap, let's see what's going down. My partner, who I thought was named something else, which to be figured out to be Officer Neil after all. My whole squad headed out. Lights and sirens were wailing. Police radio cracking, each car transmitting. I'm in with the cars, and I've been going on. Everybody responded because it was an assist officer. Oh well, we got down there, and all hell is breaking loose in front of me. Must have been 100 people fighting in the middle of Market Street. I look to my left, I look to my right. Suddenly I see a tall man, black male, about 6'1", 185 pounds, dressed in a white t-shirt and jeans, running west on Market Street, chasing a man with blood dripping from his hands, fighting, ducking, running. I'm trying to follow him, keeping my eyes on him, the victim he shot, hoping that he doesn't shoot him again. Running, screaming for the shooter to stop, not being heard over all the crowd and police sirens. Suddenly, loud in my voice, with no other thought, I yelled out, "The next asshole that moves, your behind is mine," holding my gun up in the air. Yes, like in the movies. To my surprise, even my coworkers froze. For those who are wondering what happened to the gunman, let's just say, when 5 cops that have their guns pointed at you, when you're smart, you drop your weapon, lay your ass down on the street to keep from going to the hospital and being the person you shot, next door neighbor, if you get my point. So did the man die? No. That night, we recovered 4 other guns, made multiple arrests. Just as I was clearing my head, thinking I would relax, beep, in the 31st District, Brianna Larchwood, robbery in progress. It was only 12 a.m. in the morning, 9 hours to go on my shift. The Wild Wild West was welcoming me. By the end of the tour, I knew this is where I belonged. True blue life as a policewoman. Well, now, we're at Brianna Larchwood. A lady comes running up to us. "Officer, officer," he pulled a gun on me. I'm saying to myself, something about this does not make sense. In that area, there were some high-rise projects, about 2 of them to be exact. And I'm talking to the lady and I'm looking at my partner. Something about this does not look right. So we asked for a description of this man that is supposed to have pulled a gun on her. And we're looking, and she's giving a precise description of this man. From his height, color of his eyes, the color of his clothes, and almost said his name. At that point, I'm saying to myself, something is up. something is up. Well, after pressuring her a little bit more, we came to realize that it was her boyfriend. And to our finding, it was his payday. And she decided that she wanted to bring her boyfriend into the apartment, and she wanted to get rid of her boyfriend. So she called in a fake story about being robbed by her own boyfriend to get him locked up and put in jail, or even what was told by the police. 'Cause back then we had a habit. We did not want to be doing all that paperwork and sending somebody downtown. So we just had a habit. If it got kind of heated, we would just tell the interested party, which is more than likely the man, which did not mean it was true, to leave for the night and not to come back. So I guess she played us for that. We ended up locating her boyfriend, telling him to take a hike, and here she comes. She had already gotten his money. Don't let me leave that out. And so her boyfriend had came in and he's complaining. He's just saying, well, I just gave this you-know-what all my money, and she's lying on me. And there was nothing we could do about it. So we just told him to go take a walk. Well, maybe that wasn't the best decision to make, because about 3 hours later, we get a call at a high-rise project at 48th and Brown, where she actually lived, for a real fight on the 19th floor. To no surprise, the elevator was broke. All I have to say, we were not happy that we had to truck it up 19 floors and a dark stairwell with no lights, smelling like urine. So we finally get up to the 19th floor where she lived, and guess what happens? The boyfriend that she claimed robbed her went back home, decided to return to the apartment, and he found her in the bed with some other dude. Nowadays they call it side piece or a sneaky link or something like that. The only thing we could do was separate them. He wound up leaving, and that was the end of that. Nobody had to go to jail that night. Oh, we gotta talk about the next call. Well, back then they had an organization called the JBMs, and they ran drugs. And if you did not pay up, they did certain things to people that really, nobody liked. So the next call was a drug call, which wound up turning into a vehicle pursuit. No apprehension, nobody was arrested, and the night's winding down. I think now it's like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'm praying that nothing else happens, because this is my first night, the first time I ever stayed up. Now I'm exhausted. I'm loving every bit of it. After that, the only calls that came through were hospital cases, and I was happy about that and couldn't wait for the next day to come. So welcome to the police department, and I never looked back.